How's your day going? Hey there, welcome. This is Mind Window, and you've tuned into our podcast series that often kicks off with those why questions, all rooted in the power of first principle thinking. It's a method that helps us uncover diverse perspectives on life's many challenges. So to cultivate a truly vibrant spirit, let's dive into today's episode. Lately, I've been scrolling through countless posts and videos centered around this phrase, the kids who used to be brilliant. Hearing those two words, used to be, really stings, doesn't it? Curious, I clicked on the comments section and found thousands of sympathetic replies. One person shared how they were a top student at the state level for 4 consecutive years, but by high school, their grades plummeted so much that they couldn't even meet the minimum requirements for a decent university. Another recalled an older cousin who was once the pride of their community, acing the incredibly tough medical school entrance exams back in the early 90s. But then he dropped out, and rumors circulated that he'd studied so hard he developed severe mental health issues, struggling profoundly and requiring constant care from his family. Many young people are also posting statuses like, the once brilliant kids are now just ordinary, or now they're struggling with subjects they used to excel at. After reading those, I couldn't help but wonder, is it so wrong to just be ordinary? Honestly, even the subjects I used to be good at, the deeper I delved, the more complex they became. Knowledge is truly boundless. Back in high school English, if you understood a few tenses and grammar rules, diligently memorized all the vocabulary in the textbook, you could easily score well on exams. But once I got to college, as someone who chose English language and literature, and despite being an advanced English student in high school, I was absolutely floored and overwhelmed by the sheer volume of knowledge in this new environment. Has anyone else studying English linguistics ever found themselves diagramming sentences with hierarchical structures while simultaneously having an existential crisis? During simultaneous interpreting class, I'd sit in the booth listening to an Indian speaker, taking notes, questioning my life choices, perhaps even shedding a tear or two. I would never claim to be brilliant myself, but I believe there are a few things we need to clarify within these shared experiences, both to offer motivation and to prevent negative impacts on people's thoughts and behaviors. And this is precisely why Mind Window is bringing you this podcast episode. There would be no issue if people viewed these moments as a chance to reflect and get back on track. However, in the vast majority of these shared sentiments, lamentations dominate, regret, helplessness, and simply resigning themselves to their fate. But wait, let's pause and ask ourselves, were you truly brilliant? Is the reason you're falling behind solely because of you, or are there other factors at play? First, let's explore what brilliant or outstanding truly means. An outstanding individual is typically understood as someone with superior talent, knowledge, or skills, capable of creating profound impact within their field. Being outstanding isn't just about achieving excellent results. It's also about pushing past conventional limits, pioneering new paths, or instigating significant change. Outstanding people often possess a broad vision, dare to confront challenges, and tirelessly seek groundbreaking solutions. Let's highlight some truly outstanding individuals. Albert Einstein, the German physicist renowned for his theory of relativity and foundational work in modern science. He wasn't just excellent in his field, he possessed a revolutionary mindset that transformed humanity's understanding of the universe. Or Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, who revolutionized industries and product design, becoming an icon of innovation and user experience vision. In art, we have Leonardo da Vinci, a polymathic genius of the Renaissance. He was not only an outstanding painter, known for masterpieces like Mona Lisa and The Last Supper, but also a scientist, inventor, engineer, and philosopher. He embodies creativity and an insatiable desire for learning. And then there are countless self-made billionaires, prodigy composers, and child prodigies with super memory on shows like Little Big Shots. These are the truly outstanding individuals. Please note, listing these monumental figures is certainly not intended to diminish your accomplishments. This is merely a reminder that the world out there is vast, and outstanding might still be a rather luxurious term to confidently describe ourselves. To truly be outstanding and to maintain that level, the individuals mentioned above required many other supporting factors: perseverance, an enabling educational environment, emotional intelligence, adaptability, the ability to recognize and seize opportunities, or even sheer luck. The truly outstanding are those who stand on a stage, bathed in spotlights, surrounded by the fervent cheers and applause of an audience. But to reach that glorious spotlight, that's far from easy. Now, let's discuss why a child who was once brilliant might gradually decline and no longer progress as before. We need to consider both internal and external factors. The first internal reason is that once people have an inflated sense of their own talent, they can easily lose the will to strive when their illusions are shattered. In the past, with small achievements in hand, we might have crowned ourselves kings, but truly, we were just kings of the blind. We participated in local competitions, our names gracing neighborhood honor rolls, and that was certainly an honor. Small steps are indeed necessary to reach the podium of glory. However, when we're young and inexperienced, it's easy to develop an inflated sense of our abilities from a few minor successes. We don't realize that other towns and communities are also brimming with talent. Stepping out of our small pond into regional, state, national, and even international competitions, that's when the real race among the truly excellent begins. Yet, we became overconfident too soon, and consequently, when we entered the true battlefield, we were disillusioned, painfully realizing we weren't that good. When confidence is lost, without a strong foundation of willpower, it becomes incredibly difficult to sustain the effort needed to develop the intelligence we possess. Furthermore, many talented children, while young, grew over-reliant on their intellect, believing that because they were smart, everything would be effortlessly resolved. As a result, they gradually neglected other crucial qualities and efforts. When faced with difficulties or challenges, they lacked the ability to confront them with persistence, thus slowly losing their edge. Life is full of unexpected twists. Unforeseen things can always happen. When faced with situations that don't go according to plan, children with knowledge but lacking coping skills will flounder, struggle, unable to manage stress, easily fall into panic and fear, and early failure becomes an understandable outcome for them. In Malcolm Gladwell's book, Outliers, The Story of Success, there's a quote that goes, "Talent can make you stand out, but practice is what takes you to the top." While many of the author's arguments in this book have been debated for being one-sided, the view emphasizing diligent practice, that even prodigies and geniuses must never stop learning, is widely accepted by most. Furthermore, individuals with high IQs but low emotional intelligence, EQ, often struggle to sustain their success. High IQ individuals can experience very intense emotions, act impulsively, even plunge into situations without considering the consequences. If someone possesses a high IQ but low EQ, they'll find it difficult to manage their own powerful emotions. These emotions can become overwhelming, making it hard to control themselves and leading to easy outbursts of anger. Often, when in this state, they may be more prone to turning to substance abuse or other unhealthy coping mechanisms for relief. Such individuals also tend to blame others, always believing they are right, attempting to dominate conversations, acting callously, and disregarding what others think. This very behavior erodes their relationships and can sabotage future opportunities. People with high IQs but low EQs also frequently neglect self-care. They might believe that maximizing work efficiency necessitates sacrificing physical and mental well-being. Long days of skipped meals, sleepless nights of overwork. Seriously, who can endure pushing their brain and body to such extremes for an extended period? There are also children who were brilliant when young, but as they grew older, became increasingly uninhibited, exhibiting reckless behaviors completely contrary to their pristine image from years past. This, too, is entirely understandable. To maintain that perfect child label, they often had to live within strict boundaries, constrained by their parents' rules, never allowed to express their own opinions or have a voice in the family. Those certificates, medals, and honor rolls were never truly what they craved. And what goes around comes around. Like an overinflated balloon, negative emotions, suppressed thoughts, and accumulated fatigue and pressure eventually explode. These children grow up and begin to rebel. Another reason a child who once excelled in a certain field might gradually stop shining in that very area they were proud of is simply because that field wasn't their true passion. You might be proficient or even outstanding in some areas, but that doesn't necessarily mean you genuinely love what you're good at. Perhaps you only agreed to focus diligently on that subject because it was your parents' expectation or due to influence from others. You might have mistakenly believed at the time that all you could do was study and excel in that subject. But as you grow older, delve deeper into different fields, and truly discover yourself, you might realize that it wasn't your passion at all. Consider a male student who specialized in literature but boldly switched to math education, facing intense backlash from his family and even having to defer a semester because the subject was so challenging. Yet on graduation day at Hanoi National University of Education, he became the second highest ranking student in the entire university. Despite being a literature major and having won second prize in the city-level literature competition, his math test scores had always been excellent. That's why he dared to make such an unconventional decision. He shared that his parents advised him to switch to economics, worried about the low teacher salary. But in that major, he just didn't feel like himself. However, when he stands in front of a classroom, mentoring students and imparting the knowledge he's gained in his own unique way, he feels truly at peace. It makes you wonder, if we stubbornly pursue a field we think we're good at but don't truly love, I bet we'd all eventually lose heart, wouldn't we? Ultimately, passion is what truly sustains a person, and aptitude becomes a powerful tool that helps us pursue that passion. The points we've discussed so far are internal factors, but what about external causes? What else contributes to a person's success? An outstanding individual with a strong will to learn, continuously striving for knowledge, adaptable to all circumstances, and emotionally mature. Yet, if they still can't seem to thrive, what could be the reason? The answer also lies in other factors: family background, developmental environment, sheer luck, or opportunities. Successful people may appear to have achieved everything through their own efforts, but in reality, they often benefit from hidden advantages, extraordinary good fortune, and cultural legacies that enable them to study, work hard, and perceive the world in ways others cannot. This is also reflected in philosopher John Rawls' concept of moral luck, or the arbitrariness of fortune. Specifically, many believe in a meritocratic view that opportunities are equally available to everyone. If they can achieve something, then others can too. And if someone fails, it's solely their own fault. This perspective isn't entirely wrong, but it's not entirely right either. Their talent, effort, willpower, and correct path are indeed commendable. However, for them to assert unequivocally that their success is solely due to themselves, that they are completely self-made, and that others fail because they are undeserving, lacking effort or ability, that reveals a true lack of understanding. Because according to this theory of moral luck, nothing a person does is entirely their inherent right. Nothing is entirely owned or decided by the individual. Even physical and mental health, the intelligence, IQ needed for labor and creative activities, being born in a peaceful country, having access to a good education, possessing strong social relationships, family, friends, all of these are forms of inherent gifts that individuals acquire without effort. They are morally arbitrary conditions. This perspective initially sparked much debate because it can seem extreme, seemingly discrediting individual merit. However, objectively speaking, it teaches us valuable lessons about gratitude and empathy. Simply put, I succeeded partly due to luck, being born in a peaceful country, having access to modern technology and education, having good teachers, friends, and parents, and benefiting from good government policies. Therefore, this success is a collective effort from society that was given to me, so I, in turn, want to contribute back to society as a form of gratitude. We also have to mention another factor, a blunt word, timing. Some people hit a stride where their time has come and nothing can stop them. They seize the moment and soar like a kite in the wind. But remember, timing is often fleeting, just a temporary instant, a passing moment. People often refer to those who once shone brightly, who stood at the pinnacle of fame, as those whose time has passed. It sounds harsh, but it's a natural progression. We will always be capable of being replaced. The world keeps turning, and new generations and other outstanding individuals will follow. The important thing is that those once brilliant individuals poured their hearts into learning and contributed their intellect and talent to society. This brings to mind the words Sir Alex Ferguson once shared, "Form is temporary, class is permanent." Thus, we can affirm that brilliant individuals don't simply appear and vanish. Rather, certain qualitative shifts can lead to quantitative changes in their journey. I hope these insights offer something valuable, rekindling a vibrant spirit within each of us. If you resonate with these thoughts, please don't forget to follow our channel and look forward to the next Mind Window podcast episodes. Bye for now.